can see the confetti left over from last night's New Year's Eve celebration here in Hollywood. Okay, it's not really Hollywood, it's Universal Studios Orlando. I am not a person that makes New Year's resolutions, but this year I decided to do something a little different and actually make some. I think the resolutions I make, some of them are personal. Many of them have to do with FTV Live. There's a lot of things I want to do differently. I want to add stuff. I want to get back to making these videos where I have a chance to talk to you guys. When I quit doing the videos, I didn't really quit. I was just taking a break. And it's really hard when you are running everything. You are that just one guy that is in charge of billing, technical support, content creation, the whole bit. And also, you know, trying to live your life in Orlando. There's not a lot of time in the day, but my goal here in 2024 is to streamline everything. One of the things I think I'm gonna do, and again, all of this is fluid. It's 2024, I wanna come up with some ideas, and so all of it's kind of fluid. But what I wanna do for this year is, I noticed that over Christmas, when I pulled back on content, instead of posting 13, 14 stories a day, I was posting 6, 7, something like that. And I noticed that traffic-wise, certainly there weren't as many page views, but the number of people coming in didn't change. It didn't change at all. And I think sometimes when I'm uploading FTV Live, I feel like, you know, I gotta, you know, kind of like a producer, you gotta fill time. I have a pretty good show here, which would be the first, you know, 6, 7, 8 stories, but then, you know, 9 through 13 or 9 through 14, 9 through 15, whatever it was, I almost feel like I was just trying to find stuff to fill time, fill space, and kind of fill up that front page. And I think in 2024, I'm not going to worry about that as much. I'm not going to chase the so-called algorithm. You know, if my page views go down in 2024, I'm okay with that. I really am. I more want the content to be, I want every story to be something you want to read. So instead of just putting some BS stories at the bottom of the page, I want to make every story a readable story. So you might not see, and again, this may not work, but I'm going to try it. So in basically in 2024, what I want to do is just do more good content, good solid content, and not try and do just fill up the space. I always feel like I have 5, 6, 7, 8 stories that are good stories, that are definitely interesting to a lot of people, something people want to read. But then I always feel like I'm filling spots in the time. I mean, so I'm going to continue to try and do that, where it's just more solid content. And I know at the end of the year, my page views in 2024 are obviously going to be down from 2023 or 2022. And my goal had always been, when I started uploading every day for the last 10 years, every single day, my goal was I wanted each month to beat the month before in unique viewers and page views. And so I would, you know, every single month for 10 years, however many page views I had in 2013 on that month, for the month of January, I wanted to make sure that in February there was more, March more, April more, just kept going. And that continued all the way for 10 years. And I think in 2024, I'm not going to chase that goal anymore. Sure, I want to keep the unique visitors coming in, which is really, you know, has continued to grow, and that's great. That's still on this line, and I think that is more important to keep people engaged, to keep people engaged in the content, than it is to worry about clicks and page views. So the page views, I'm gonna try tossing that aside for a little bit and see if we can make content, you know, again, 7, 8 stories that are definitely interesting, that are interesting pretty much to everybody. You know, the patron stories, I just hit last month, we went over 1,000 patrons, and I love that. I thank anybody that's a patron of FTV Live. Some of you bounce in and bounce out. It's funny, you see, you know, they're a patron, then they leave for a month, then there's a story they come back in on. But there's some people that have been patrons for years. I mean, years and years and years. They've been patrons for basically a decade. And I've tried to keep that cost low. You know, it's what, $5.99 a month? And you know, $5.99 a month when you break it down per day is just a few pennies a day. And I thought about, you know, maybe in 2024 raising that rate. But the thing is, if you're already a patron and you're paying the $5.99, you would not pay more. Even if I raised it, say I raised it to $6.99. If you're a patron now and you stay a patron, now if you leave and came back, you would have to come back at the higher price. But I don't even think I'm going to raise the rate yet. You know, obviously, less page views means less Google AdSense money to me, but I have never, ever, have I ever done this site in any way, shape, and form about the money. It's never been about the money. If it is, I mean, every single day, at least every week, I get an email from somebody that wants to do sponsored content on FTV Live. They want to do a story, and they want me to, they want to pay for it, you know, so they'd write the story, they put a link in the story, it'd be to their company, their service, or whatever, and I've never said yes to a single one. And as I said, they come in pretty much daily, but definitely weekly, and I could make, I could probably easily make well over $100,000 just accepting that content. And I'm not going to do that. I've never. I think that you put a product out there that people want to read, and the money. You know what? Fuck the money. I've never chased the money. I am lucky that FTV Live affords me the ability to live my life. I've never tried to get rich off FTV Live. That was never a goal. And you know, you guys reading the site is what drives the site. But you know, the advertisers, the sponsors that I have, they are great. They were the people early in the days of FTV Live that kept the lights on at FTV Live. So I appreciate them so much, and they are getting way more bang for their buck. If you went to a site that gets the traffic that FTV Live does, the page views that FTV Live does, and the quality of the person. I mean, think about it. People that work in TV news, how many websites or how many companies do you think would pay money to reach so many people in the media that work in TV news? That is a, you know, you're talking about usually well-educated, they think you make money. We all know that none of us in TV news made any money, or hardly any money, but it's a, that is a demographic that companies would kill for. But that's, again, I never chased the money. It's never, this website has never been about money. You know, obviously I need to make enough money to survive, to pay my bills, just like you do, you know, like anybody does. But it's never been about the money, and hopefully it will never be about the money. As I said, if I wanted it just to be the money, if I wanted to chase the dollar, it'd be very easy to do, because all I would have to do is start taking all these sponsored content that people have asked me for, and I would make I'd make a killing. I mean, I could get rid of all my advertisers, get rid of Patreon, get rid of Google AdSense, and just make money off of that easily. But that's not me. That's not what I'm going to do. But you know, my advertisers, when they started with me years ago, I was charging them ad money. You know, I was charging them, not ad money. What's the word I want? I'm charging against what the traffic was. Well, what the traffic was, you know, in 2013 or 2017 or 2020, you know, 21 even, the traffic is astronomically much higher than it was then. And, you know, most companies, I guess, or most websites would go back to the advertiser and say, hey, if you want to stick around, you need to pay more money. And I've never done that. I feel like these people supported me at the beginning. They were the ones that, you know, basically helped me survive. And no reason should I come back to them and ask for more money. I guess, yes, you could. You've built your traffic up. I mean, a TV station, when the ratings go up, they go back to the advertiser and say, hey, you want to advertise again? It's going to cost you more. I feel like loyalty is more important than money. And so I don't go to those advertisers and say, you owe me more. Now, if I bring in a new advertiser, certainly they're going to pay more than the other rate. So then they're going to pay a lot more than the people that have been on the site for years. That only makes sense, but there's not a loyalty there. They may build up to be loyal, but if they're just popping in, they're going to pay more. So that's it. So that is, I think, the biggest change I want to make for 2024. And we're going to see how it goes. If it looks bad, or if you guys, you know, scream for more content, then I'll go back to putting up more content. But by doing that, that'll allow me to do more of these videos, because there'll be less time generating stories there, and I'll be able to do more videos. The newsletter we're going to take that out of mothballs, because that has so many people signed up for the newsletter, and I just haven't. That's tough to do on a weekly basis. But I think I may change the content in there and go from there. And there's a prime example. I mean, the newsletter had a sponsor, and you know, the sponsor only pays if the newsletter goes out. So I could just put out crap every single week and collect that money. But again, I'm not doing that. I would not be a good TV salesperson, or even probably a general manager, because I don't chase the money. And I think in TV today, that's all they do. Media companies, that's all they do, is they chase the money. And that's not what I've been about. So 2024, I think, is looking good. I really want to do a lot more with the patron page, a lot more. So I've come up with some ideas for that. You know, there's two things. There's a plan and there's action. And I don't really want to talk about the plan. I just want to show the action. So that's my goal. You know, it's amazing. I've been sitting here right now in Universal Orlando at Universal Studios, and I've been talking this whole time, and not one person has walked by, because I am in what is called the Central Park of Universal Orlando. So if I give you, here, let me spin the camera around here. If I go, that over there is San Francisco, that's New York. San Francisco, that's Fast and the Furious over there. And there's the old Bruce from the Jaws. He's basically all that's left from the Jaws ride. And so if you're looking for a quiet place in Universal Studios, then Central Park is the place to be. But basically, as I said, my goal is to just, I made some resolutions. I've made some personal resolutions, which I don't need to share because you don't care, and I don't care to share them. But the big thing is I have made resolutions for FTV Live, continue to make the site better, quit chasing the views algorithm, You know, page views is a great thing, and there was a time where that was so important to me. And I'd look at my global ranking and watch it climb. I don't care about that anymore. Now I just care about putting out good content. The core audience is there. So that's it. And so anyway, that's going to be it. I just wanted to give you guys a fill-in on this January 1st here at Universal Studios Orlando. And I'll see you on the next one.